Yesterday, the season finale of Hawkeye debuted on Disney Plus, and if you watch my review, you know that I absolutely loved it. I have, of course, a few problems with it. It's not perfect, but I love the episode, and I love this series in general. However, of course, not everybody shares the love for this show that I do, and people have some big problems with it. And again, I don't think it's perfect. I have my own problems, but there's some people that have some huge problems with this Hawkeye Disney Plus series, and apparently those problems could have been easily avoided if they didn't cut out a bunch of stuff from this episode, because we have some new reports from My Time to Shine H on Twitter, who has been a super reliable source and scooper over the past couple of months, revealing most of the stuff that happened in Spider-Man No Way Home, which of course was just proven correct, revealed a bunch of stuff about Hawkeye, and is just super duper reliable when it comes to their stuff, and just revealed that a bunch of stuff was cut from the Hawkeye finale. And I don't get why it was cut, because honestly, if all this stuff was in here, there would be a lot less people upset with this finale. So we're going to go and break it all down, talk about what it would have been like if this stuff actually happened in the episode, and of course you can let me know your own thoughts in the comments below on whether you would have liked to see these included in the Hawkeye season finale. So first of all, the biggest problem with this Hawkeye finale that I've seen most people talking about, and is a problem that I also have with it, is the supposed death of the Kingpin. Because this is a character that we were so excited to see when he was first revealed in last week's episode, and we've been hyping his debut up for weeks, even before Hawkeye debuted. When we first heard he was going to be in the series, we were all super duper excited about it. And then when he actually came here, we were all just so hyped up to see this character finally come / return to the MCU and have Vincent D'Onofrio in the role. It was just so amazing. But then his debut episode here, he dies, or at least supposedly dies. They make it look like he dies, but of course it's off screen when Maya actually shoots him, and that's like the number one rule in all movies and TV shows. If you don't see a body, chances are they're probably not dead. And also, this is actually something that happened in the comics, where after Maya came to this realization that, oh, Kingpin is responsible for my father's death, she straight up shoots him in the face, and he still survives that, but instead goes blind. So that could totally be what they're setting up here, since we know Echo is getting her own spin-off series on Disney+, and I 100% think that that's what's happening there. He's alive, he's all good, he just got shot in the face, and he is now blind. That's what I think happened, because, you literally look at, like, a couple minutes before that, he was getting shot in the chest with an arrow from Cade, and he got hit by a car, and he was totally fine after that. So I guarantee that's what they're setting up here, and he's 100% alive. But my problem with it, though, is that they just left it so open-ended and never explained it. So literally, for any general audience member who doesn't know the importance of this character, doesn't know about that storyline in the comics, and doesn't know that they're even doing a spin-off series about Echo, would just think that he's dead and would have no idea that that character is coming back. So that's why when this first happened in the episode, after my initial frustration with this scene, I was hoping, like, alright, I bet there's going to be some sort of post-credit scene where we have a reveal of Kingpin. Alright, he's alive, and now he's got a new plan, he's setting his sights on new targets or whatever, and I thought it'd be really cool. But then we get nothing. Literally, the post-credit scene is just Rogers the Musical. A lot of people are upset about that as well. But apparently, according to My Time to Shine H on Twitter, there was a post-credit scene with Kingpin for this episode that for some reason they cut out. And again, I don't know why, because it literally makes no sense. And that's really, like, I get it if they wanted to do this and set up that storyline, that's fine. But they just needed to clarify that with a post-credit scene, confirming that he is alive. Because again, most people will just think that he is dead. But speaking of Kingpin and Echo in this episode, there were also supposedly going to be more scenes between those characters in the finale as well, which I think would have been really cool, because we only got 2 scenes between those characters in this episode, and I really did enjoy those scenes. You really can tell how much Kingpin actually cares for Maya, and it's really like a father-daughter relationship, almost like adopted father. But if we had more scenes, it really would have helped to develop that more. Then again, you could argue the fact that maybe they're just saving that for the Echo series, and that is totally understandable. But it would have been nice if we had a little more exploration of that relationship in this episode, since Kingpin actually showed up here. But again, like I said, we're getting that spin-off series, so that is most likely where we'll be getting more of that in that series. Now, the reason we were all so excited to see Kingpin come back to the MCU in this series, specifically played by Vincent D'Onofrio, is because he comes from the Netflix Daredevil series, which we absolutely love Daredevil. And spoiler alert for Spider-Man No Way Home, but we just got the return of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock in that film as well. It was just one quick cameo scene, but supposedly he was also going to be appearing in this episode, this Hawkeye finale, as Daredevil. It was going to be just another quick cameo as Daredevil. I don't know what the extent would have been, whether it would have been him with Kingpin or like even a post-credit scene or something like that, but Daredevil was going to have a cameo in this finale, and unfortunately that one wasn't purposely cut. That was just Charlie Cox wasn't able to film it because of scheduling issues, so it's completely understandable, but it would have been awesome if we did have a Daredevil cameo in this episode, or even as I was talking about in my review for the finale, a Spider-Man cameo, given how Spider-Man No Way Home ended with him swinging through Rockefeller Center. That would have been a perfect cameo, but hey, again, it's understandable. They can't do everything, and it does make more sense to keep it more as a contained storyline. Same reason that we were going to get a Doctor Strange cameo in WandaVision, but they decided to cut that out just to keep the focus on Wanda. Now, finally, the last thing that My Time to Shine H is reporting on that was cut from the Hawkeye finale is Elanor Bishop's transformation into Madame Masque, which before this series even started was a big theory that not only Vera Farmiga's character was going to be the villain, which was super predictable and ended up being the case, but that she was going to specifically be Hawkeye villain Madame Masque, which I think would have been really cool and would have made so much sense, specifically because she is a big villain specifically for Kate Bishop in the comics, but we never got that. Elanor really didn't do much in this series. Like last episode we got the big reveal that she was the villain, but in this episode she literally does nothing and then just gets arrested. So that is something that I really wish we would have, could have seen, and hopefully we do get a Hawkeye season 2, and maybe that's something that could be explored there. Maybe she breaks out of jail or is just released, and then she goes back to her villainous ways, tries to seek more power, and she becomes Madame Masque. I think that would be really cool and a lot of fun to explore. And again, it is another one that kind of makes sense that they cut it, because it would have been just for one episode and would have felt really rushed. So it makes sense, but still would have been cool. But again, hopefully we do get that Hawkeye season 2, and that is potential for this possible second season. But guys, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. What do you think about all these elements that were cut from the Hawkeye season finale on Disney Plus? Would you have liked to have seen that Kingpin post-credit scene, more scenes between Kingpin and Echo, that Daredevil cameo, and of course Elanor Bishop becoming Madame Masque? So anyways, guys, stay tuned for next week, where now that Hawkeye's over, we're going to be jumping into the Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus, which I'll be covering with my weekly episode reviews and breakdowns on my other channel, The Star Wars Life, so you're not going to want to miss it. We'll be doing the same thing we did for Hawkeye, so if you enjoyed those, you're going to want to check out the Book of Boba Fett ones, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. But for now, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.